morning from Shalom Acres. I want to just give a brief update on the 3 different types of gardens that we've got. So this right here is our garden that's right off of the east side of our chicken coop, and you can see that overall it's doing pretty well. This is our no-till garden, so this is where we just throw additional top cover on. And if we walk through it, you can look and see overall it's holding out the weeds pretty good. If you look down low, you can start seeing there's a little bit of what I call a water grass that starts to poke through in certain areas. And I think this is as a result of our chicken manure. I'm sorry, not chicken manure. This is as a result of our sheep manure that we put on. So you can see there's another little piece here, but another one. But if you look down through most of the row, you can see it's actually pretty clean. And this is probably on a every couple week as far as a weeding schedule, so it's actually not too bad. So that's kind of what I want to talk about this morning, is the 3 different types of gardens that we've set up, and explain the difference. So this again is our no-till, just put additional matter on top, so similar to the back to Eden gardening, except for we're not able to use wood chips because we have not been blessed with them, but we have been blessed with a lot of hay this year. And then just a quick little overview. The sun's kind of getting in the way, but so this is predominantly all tomatoes, but we do have a few other items in here. There's just a volunteer piece of dill that's growing in the way. We already started canning some pickles, so this one won't be here much longer because I'll cut him out. And these little guys here, as you can see, that's just a volunteer pole bean that's actually growing. And it's actually all the way up to the top of the bird feeder, and I think that's 14 feet, so it's doing pretty well. I'll probably keep some of those seeds again for next year. Walking through here, so we can get to our next garden. You can see, looking down, right behind the chicken coop here, still really not a lot of weeds picking up. Then when I go around to the south side of our chicken coop, here's our next garden. We did a little video earlier on rolling out some of this material, as far as we actually laid down the cardboard and put down the actual hay. But the garden that I want to show is the one that we're doing, kind of the traditional style garden, where you can see we've got some sunflowers here, some corn. Corn was looking pretty good till we let one of our cows out and actually got in the middle of it, kind of destroyed it a little bit. But overall, it's still coming back. This row right here is okra, and then we've got 4 rows of black beans, and then a couple rows of kidney beans. We're just wanting to test and see what we can grow here on our homestead, and right now it's looking like they're doing pretty good. But you can see, so what we've done on this particular garden, this is just the traditional tilling method. So what I did was I kept the rows far enough apart that I could run the tiller through for at least the first about 4 to 5 weeks worth of the plant's lives. And if you look down in here, just looking through, you can see, yep, do have a weed here. Pull that one out. A couple weeds over here in the main area where the garden or the tiller could not get. But if you look overall, I mean, it's working what we wanted it to do. What's happening is we were able to keep the rows clean with the tiller, and then what we allowed the plants to do is go ahead and shade out, so then that way they take away the sunlight from all the weeds. It's actually working really well. I'm not going to lie to you though, and I'm not going to tell you we didn't have to weed this. The first time we had to weed this, once the plants came through, it was difficult to overcome the weeds versus the plants. But once we did that, we really only had to weed this garden one time pretty significantly, and that was to get through the main portions of the plants here. And then after we did that, I think I ran the tiller through here a total of 3 times. And I won't run it through anymore because we're really counting on just the shade and then the plants taking away the moisture from the weeds. And so far it looks like it's going pretty well. And then down in this area, yeah, you can see the cow tracks came through here pretty heavily. You know, here's a bigger weed. It's more of that water grass. It's one of the disadvantages of the sheep manure. I find out that they do spread a little bit of that seed. And then here's just some of our plants that are actually taking off. Some winter squash and a few gourds that'll actually end up covering up this whole hayed area. But you can see even in the hay area, really minimal weeds that's actually popping through because we took the time to prepare up front. So right now we're able to spend a lot more time putting stuff in the freezer, and we're actually starting to can, like we said, with the cucumbers and other items like that. So I'm going to shut off the camera here for a second. I'm going to take you to one last garden that we're trying as far as a little different option. But so far what we've gone through is the no-till method, then I would say the tilling method, and then when I get back with you, we'll go through one other portion. Okay, so we're in a little different garden now. So what we've done in this particular garden, you can see we've got some additional vining type plants. So we got some watermelons, and back a little further where it's a pretty big patch up in there are all pumpkins, and then everything past the pumpkins is all cucumbers, and they're looking overall really good. But what I want to show a little bit more here would be a combination type effort of what I say would be the till versus the no-till. So you can see down in here what we've got. These are all sweet potatoes that are all vining out, doing a great job. Then you can see we've got some corn, and then on the corn you can look up there and see there's actually bean plants. So I've heard of different methods around, you know, putting squash in corn and then having pole beans climb up. And I'll be honest with you, this is one of those things where just really felt, what's the purpose of putting in squash, which when you step on squash between the corn rows, it actually will kill the plant, or has a tendency to actually set the plant back a lot. So this was racking my brain and trying to figure out what's the best plant to actually put in, and then why will that plant be good? Well, the simple matter for the squash is, the reason why people put squash in is to simply take away, you know, the light from the weeds. So right away you got the idea from Yahweh about actually putting in sweet potatoes. And right now you can see we did not weed this garden area once. So the corn didn't come up as well as we'd like. The pole beans are actually running up the corn. I mean, they're all the way up to the tassels already, so they're doing great. But what we're seeing is there's been no weeding done in this area at all. I'm not going to lie to you though, I mean, I do see a little bit of, you can see back in there, there's a little bit of water grass starting to come through. But overall, you can just see how the sweet potatoes are just taking over the whole area. So while we did till this area originally, and we put just a little bit of hay down over the top just to give a little bit of ground cover to hold in some moisture, it is just amazing to see how we're not tilling this area, or we're not weeding this area at all. We're just letting the sweet potatoes take over. And sweet potatoes are a great ground cover for many different, just for all different types of soil. So really wanted to get some discussion going this morning, talking about the different ways to try to prevent weeds. So what we've done is we've done the traditional no-till, and then from the traditional no-till we've actually went to pretty much a straight tilling method, except for now I won't go back in there anymore and till anything because it's actually under good control. And then we went to the till and then no weed method, just by using truly just a great ground cover. So hopefully that helps you with your garden, and those are just true results. Nothing's been staged. It's all just been set up based on how God wants it to appear. And you can see right down in here we're already starting to get a few pumpkins. Like I said earlier, we've already canned some pickles. We've got some spaghetti squash that are starting to come on pretty well, and then obviously the squash and zucchini and other stuff like that are doing well. But so far it's been a great year, and it's been fun. So thanks for watching. Hope you have a great day. Shalom.